Screaming like the start of a race. Diet Pepsi's my fuel in this Monday maze. Shake the weekend fog off my tired face. The hustling begins, no time to waste. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Sun clouds up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. Got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show. Street lights fading, sun climbs up higher, chasing dreams like chasing fire. Got my rhythm set to overdrive. This Monday motivation vibe's keeping me alive. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, I own the show. Know the week can be heavy, but I'm tougher still. Climbing the mountain, fueled by will. Each heartbeat whispers, yes you can. I'm golden, helping every woman and man. Hey Monday, motivation, bring it on. Let's do this thing. The crowd won't stop, the fire will show. Step by step, I feel the glow. It's my time now, let's start the show.
Hey everybody, what is up? It is Monday and we are back again. We were here last Monday, right? Yeah, that was the 29th. So I tell you, with being sick and everything, I have lost track of where I was, where all that stuff, you know. So trying to get back into the swing of things. This week is going to be my first full week back, I believe. And I'm already tired. And it's only Monday. So welcome in. I had to go to work today. Today was first day back in the office after working from home for the past 2 weeks. Felt good to be back at the office and kind of have like a structure again, because there are certain things I remember to do, not only, business, my regular job wise, but also my personal stuff, for my side business. And, things like taking care of the nursing home payment and moving money around from on my dad's accounts and stuff. And so it's just, I get back into that rhythm so I don't forget anything. If you are brand new to my channel, you do not know who I am. I am Pamela, aka Scooterrenee. Welcome in. I do Monday motivations every Monday. There's a different topic each week, and then we also do series, and right now we are on the series of forgiving what you can't forget. And then also I do auctions on Tuesdays, most Wednesdays, Thursdays, and any other time, either on my channel or other people's channel. So make sure you support one another. If you click on the dots outside the person's name and go to their channel and just hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. It only takes you 5 seconds. So make sure you do all the YouTube things. You subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You ring that bell for all notifications, and a thumbs up on your way in, on your way out. I would greatly appreciate that. So again, if you are new, welcome. I hope you'll continue to keep coming back. All my OGs, I see you popping in here. Welcome in. It's so good to see you guys each and every week. And then also the playback crew, welcome. If you are the playback crew, let me know you're the playback crew. And if you would like to participate in the chat participation questions, all you got to do is leave a comment, and then I will enter your name into the drawing as well. So I got some new things I'm going to start doing this year as far as the drawings go of how you can get extra entries and everything. So stay tuned. I have decided that tonight we would not do the word of the year. We will do word of the year next Monday because I kind of want to give y'all time to think about it and figure out what your word of the year is. I've already got mine. It fits everything that is going on this month and everything that I'm looking forward to coming up for the year. Still need to tweak some things myself. So come up with your word of the year by next Monday, and then we're going to share those. And we'll still continue the series possibly next Monday. If I feel like I need to do more than just the forgiveness series, then we might put that topic off for one more week and cover word of the year. I just think it's very important that we do it at the beginning of January and not put it off too long. So that way we are ready to go, geared up and ready for the new year. So I'm excited to be in 2026 and out of 2025. So let's see who all is here and say hello to a few people. We've got up in here first, Crack and Mary. Hello, hello. Welcome in. We got Kathy here. Hello, Kathy. Welcome in. There's Cool Ranch, my sister. Welcome in. Good to see you, Cool. And we got Lisa D here. Hello, Lisa D. And we got Mary. Hello, Mary. Welcome in. Good to see you. Happy New Year to everybody. We got Nancy here. Welcome in, Nancy. Miss Josie. Hello, Josie. Welcome in. Hey, Tammy. I got to beg for forgiveness with Tammy because I didn't get done with the drawing until about 30 minutes ago. And then it was time to share this out and get a couple of things done that I need to get done before coming here. But yeah, we are having those drawings tonight. We are having the hashtag drawing and the chat participation drawing at the end of the show for the month of December. So, thank you. Finally went in and got the platinum blonde that I've been wanting. My hairdresser is back. I'm so happy. She's been gone. I don't know how long she's been gone, but she's back in the business. And then I spent some money on getting the shampoo and conditioner, the purple shampoo and stuff by Jiraco, or however you say that word. And I love Jiraco. So thank you. I think using that purple shampoo and conditioner really will make a difference. Thank you. Thank you. We got Joanne in here. Hello, Joanne. Welcome in. Oh, I'm so sorry, Lisa D. Y'all can add Lisa D to your prayer list. She says she's doing great. I know she's talking to Cool, but she says her brother's cancer is back and he has the flu in the nursing home. Happy birthday to you. He is 80. Okay. And Lisa D had a birthday. So if y'all keep Lisa D in your prayers, I would appreciate that. I will definitely be praying for you too, Lisa. All right. Did I get everybody? If I hadn't said hello to you, just yell at me in chat. I'm trying to go through here real quick. Selena. There's my feather sister. Hello, hello. Welcome in. And everybody be praying for Selena to get better. I don't know what this crap we both have had, but it's lasting too long. That's all I got to say. And let's see. Get everybody. Maria. Right, Maria, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome in. Oh, I bet it does. It always feels good to get a haircut, doesn't it? I'm trying to decide how long I'm going to grow this out. Like, I'm about okay to just do it right here, just below the shoulders. But I have grown it all the way out to like my waist before. And then I decided I want to cut it short again. No. So sorry to hear that, Lisa D. Maria is new. Welcome in, Maria. So Marissa, is it Marissa or Maria? Now I'm confused. Hold on. I got to go back up here and look. Marissa, I'm so sorry. Thank you for calling me out on that, Kathy. You didn't call me out, but you called my attention to it. That's all that mattered. See, yeah, that is the exact reason why I decided to go this color blonde, because I wanted to not have to color it so often as the gray's coming in. So I'm trying to embrace the gray. And I figured this is probably the best way I want to embrace it. So I hope you guys had a great New Year's. It was fun hanging out with those of you that came and hung out with us on my channel. I am so sorry, but when it's after 10 o'clock, I'll say 9 o'clock. When it's after 9 o'clock, there's no telling where my brain goes, and I get silly and I get the giggles a whole lot because I'm tired at that point. So if you were at that auction, that was your first time, come on back. I promise we're not like that all the time. That was fun. That was so much fun. Embrace the gray. I really was hoping that my hair would go like my dad and my aunt's, which is like a white color, like no black gray color at all. And I was really hoping that was going to happen, but I think I'm going to get my mom's hair. So I'm sorry, Mary. I think that's the way a lot of us are feeling. At least those of us that have been sick. It's like our brain just, feels fried and everything. Today, it definitely feels that way because of, being back into the swing of everything and trying to get everything done. So, let's see, what else was I going to tell you guys? Oh, and then the next day, January 1st, was my son-in-law's birthday. And so we went out to their place for dinner. And then he did fireworks. They are on 5 acres now. And he spent, I know, at least 200 in fireworks, and if not more. But he had like the big fireworks, the big, beautiful, big fireworks. It was so much fun. It was just a fun night. And he had his aunt and uncle over there. He had his brother came all the way up from Texas with his new wife. And then he had a buddy of his over. It was just a good night. They got a new puppy. And so that was fun to get to cuddle and love on the new puppy. Robert ended up getting stuck in the house with the puppy because the puppy was crying. So. Let's see, the past weekend I worked at the store at the flea market, and it was a very productive weekend, if I shall say. It was a very productive weekend. I got so much done. I got all my new soaps and lotions and everything up in my booth. I was trying to get that video to drop today, but it's going to be tomorrow. I just ran out of time today, so stay tuned for that. Real quick, we're going I don't know where I'm going with that. We are going to do the drawing for the hashtag and the chat participation questions for the month of December tonight, but we're not going to do it until the end of tonight's topic because I want to keep the focus on the series here because we are in a great series of learning to forgive what we can't forget. So again, I want to keep the focus on this for the beginning, and then we'll do the fun stuff at the end of the drawing at the end. So. Oh, yeah. I was very productive this weekend. Let's see. Statement to hold on to. After we finish this series, I'll probably go back to the positive spot thought. But right now during this, we are going through statements to hold on to. And tonight's is forgiveness releases our need for retaliation, not our needs for boundaries. Forgiveness releases our need for retaliation, not for our needs for boundaries. There's a whole different there, right? So last week we talked about collecting the dots. That was involving our past, our childhood, teenage years, and so forth. And we started to collect dots and those memories, if you will, to find out why we think the way we do now and the beliefs that we have carried all these years that aren't always true beliefs that we have. And so tonight we are going to talk about connecting those dots. So let's jump in and see what connecting dots has to do with forgiveness. Before last week's topic, as I was wrapping up my notes, I called a friend to get her advice and see what she thought about the notes and everything, and if I was going in the right direction and so forth. And this friend is not a part of my YouTube channel. She doesn't come into my YouTube live or anything. She is a longtime old friend of mine. She doesn't come into Monday Motivation or anything. So this is someone that doesn't come here. She really doesn't know what I talk about and so forth. So it was a way of getting a fresh perspective on if I was leading in the right direction with everything. And I was curious about her thoughts, and I hoped it would jog some of her childhood memories as well. And it certainly did. She exclaimed, "Wow, this is going to lead to some interesting conversations at Monday Motivation, but it's important and it's needed." And she was so right on the money. So right on the money. Absolutely, we need to cover some of the nitty gritty, if you will. It's chaotic, it's ugly, it's messy, yet it's also great for us to do as well. It's a mix of all of it together. So as we dive into the stories that we built in last Monday Motivation that I shared with you guys, my story, it's essential to start connecting the dots. And this messy but important step, it will also help us realize that the situations that we face, which may have seemed like isolated events at the time, are actually much closer to our present lives than we might think. Our experiences, they shape our perceptions, and the longer that we hold on to these beliefs, the more they turn into truths that we live by. So these truths guide how we navigate life today. So all those false beliefs that we have from childhood, where we heard certain things, especially from our parents and so forth, that we carried into our adulthood. I've shared with y'all going through cognitive behavioral therapy, and I didn't realize how many false beliefs that I was carrying that didn't even start with myself. It was from my childhood and everything. So it's essential to connect those childhood experiences with our current actions, with our current words and our beliefs. And this isn't just about understanding ourselves better. It's also about recognizing what we need to forgive so we can move forward in a healthy way. The influences from our past, they continue to shape who we are today. Sorry, I was reading, see if I skipped something. I can't remember if I did or not. But anyways, they do. The influences from the past, they definitely shape the way we are today, who we are today. So chat participation time. If you are new in here, what I do is every Monday that we do Monday Motivation, I do chat participation questions. And every time you participate, I star your comment, and then you get entered into the monthly drawing that we do on the first Monday of each month, which is why we're doing last month's tonight. So chat participation time is: how might your life be negatively impacted and your healing process be impeded if you don't address these skewed perceptions? How might your life be negatively impacted? And then the healing, would be impeded because of those skewed perceptions that you've had, those false beliefs that you've had growing up and everything. Does that make sense, guys? Sometimes I'll be like, "Oh, that's a great question to ask," and then I end up bamboozle, however you say that word. How might your life be negatively impacted and your healing process be impeded if you don't address these skewed perceptions? Tammy, you're going to the corner. Go get in that corner, Tammy. You're so cute. And it won't let me star you. It gives me a question mark. Oh, there it goes. Selena said, "You live in the past, you cannot move forward," right? Yes. You can't move past, and those certain beliefs you believe all this time, and it might have prevented certain relationships from developing and certain things happening in your life because you have believed that all this time that you were, not smart enough to be a doctor or whatever it may be. I mean, we're talking, things like that too, not just, the bad stuff. Mary says, I get snarky. I hate it. I strike out at people at random. Yep. Kathy said, if I didn't address them over the last few years, then I honestly would probably not be alive. That's pretty negative, right? Yes. You start believing those things, and then you're like, what else is there to live for then, Lisa D said, hard for the happiness or to be happy. I kind of get what you're saying, when the negative and anger are holding you back. Yes. Maria says, if you don't let go and forgive, you'll forever carry the chains and will not be free. If you're stuck looking in the rearview mirror, you will miss out on what's ahead. So very true. I love that. Thank you, Marissa. Why am I saying Maria? I am so stuck on Maria. I'm going to rename you. I'm just kidding. Joanne said it would eat away at you because you would be rehashing those incidents too much. It would prevent your happiness. So very true. Yes. Do you want to be stuck or do you want to move forward? Right? Right, Josie? Why live in the past when it was not good for you? Yes. My friend had mentioned to me that she was going to... I'm sorry, Marissa. She had mentioned that she was going to grab her big journal, the one that had plenty of space to write in, not her little note-taking one. And if she felt that my notes from last week's topic was worth her big journal, maybe it would inspire others to start writing too. So here we are. Keep in mind that our choices to forgive often happens in a specific moment, just like my experience with the 3x5 note cards that I shared with y'all last week. Selena said, I was in special classes. I felt stupid my whole life and was told so, but I'm doing things I didn't think I was smart enough to do. Amen, right? So true. However, the journey of forgiving the effects of that moment can take years to unfold. The connections I began to make were vital for me to grasp what really happened. Not why it occurred, but what took place. To truly express forgiveness, we must first articulate what it is that we are forgiving. Not why, what it is. While I am a crier like my mama was, I also became, because you got to remember, I had my mama all the way up until she passed away in 2022, but I had my stepdad in my life since the age 10, so he had plenty of time to, even though he wasn't biological, he had plenty of time to influence my thought process and everything. So while I am a crier like my mom, I also found myself being like my stepdad by learning with what I did with my stepdad. I also felt like performance with my stepdad was important. I don't know if he ever really put that on me, but somewhere, maybe subconsciously or something, I always felt like I had to measure up. I had to be a certain way, I guess, or I had to be a certain level. I don't know how to explain it. I think y'all will probably know what I'm trying to say, but I just felt like performance was very important to him. No wonder I'm confused at times, even like tonight, But success was celebrated with my stepdad, always, always. And now, granted, there were some good things. He believed that you invested in yourself as well. And that's what I've done a lot, is invested in myself. So there was that, but success was really celebrated with my stepdad. So it made me feel that it was more important than being genuine, even if it required pretending, if you will. When you're taught to suppress your feelings from a very young age, it can lead to difficulty in understanding them as an adult. Emotions, they are essential. They highlight issues that need attention and help us connect with others. They guide us in giving and receiving emotional support and foster empathy and bonding. We shouldn't let our feelings control us, but we also don't want to be just acting out roles either, showing emotion only when it's beneficial for you. That doesn't create real connections with the people in our lives, right? So I think for myself, to protect myself from disappointing my mom and most of all my stepdad, who I really did look up to, who I felt right or wrong expected so much from me that I just did not dare want to disappoint. And I had moments of disappointing them, do not get me wrong, especially when I went off to college. Right, I love this. Marissa said, Selena, never feel that way. I have 2 sons with autism, and I thought that. And I taught them that their struggles don't break them, they break their struggles. You are a child of God, and you'll always rise above. I love it. Yes. I always, my daughter, Harley, my youngest one, she has, she's on, what's the word I'm looking for? She doesn't have autism, but she's on the spectrum. That's the word I'm looking for. And that was, back then she, dyslexia, which she still deals with now, obviously, but she had more sensory issues that she now really doesn't have so many of those. I'm sure there's other ones that she has now, but like textures and stuff like that. But she had a lot of sensory issues back then, and attention deficit disorder. Back in that day, you could say just ADD. She didn't have the hyper part. Now you can't say that. You got to say ADHD. But anyways, I always told Harley, especially with the dyslexia, she could never use it as a crutch. That, she was just as smart as her sisters. She just had to go a different way of learning. And that was okay. It didn't matter. You both arrive at the same point. You just have different ways of getting to those points. And so I always, like, the word stupid can never be used. She is smart. And so it was always important to me that she knew that she could do anything, just like her sisters or anybody else, that nothing could hold her back except herself. And so, in fact, with ADD, I always said ADD in our house does not mean attention deficit disorder. It stood for attitude determines destination. And so that's what we live by here. Hello, Donna. Welcome in. You're fine. Go ahead and sit in that back seat. We'll let you. Right. That's the way I feel, Josie. That's whenever I was training for a half marathon, I didn't have much time. Usually I take a year because I do walking. I don't run. But I usually give myself about a year to train for a half marathon. And this only had like maybe 5 months to train for it. And Robert, I'll never forget, he didn't mean any harm by it, but I'll just never forget him saying, do you really think you need to be doing this, or whatever. And as soon as he said that, I was like, it's on, I'm doing it. And I did it. So, but yeah, challenge me, tell me I can't do something, or make me feel like you think I can't do something. And I'm going to prove you wrong every time. Make sure I'm not missing anything else in chat. It's definitely okay. And Selena, of all people, some of y'all might feel like I pick on Selena, some, but it's just our way of, loving each other and everything. But there's one time that Selena had one, and I remind her to this day of what it said, and it's just so cute and adorable and funny as all get out. So, yes, it's always okay to ask questions. There's things I do now, and I'm like, well, maybe I was always attention deficit myself, because there were certain things, and Harley go, Mom, you see where I get it from, right? Oh, my goodness. Back to my notes. What did I leave off? Oh, disappointing my parents and everything. You know, again, I was so worried of always disappointing my mom and especially my stepdad and everything. And I just did not want to disappoint him. Therefore, I learned to keep certain secrets to myself. And some of those secrets I will take to my grave. Nobody will ever know about those secrets. But because I was so scared of disappointing him, there was things I kept to myself and so forth. So, yes, some of those secrets have been found out eventually in moments that ended up as emotional outbursts and strong, daring, and bold statements that I've made with my stepdad. But it's clear to me now why I sometimes would choose to just stay quiet in certain situations. And I will still be like that. I will still be quiet in certain situations. Oh, that's on the auctions, Tammy. I don't have the drop form over here. Hey, Sherry, welcome in. Good to see you, girl. Welcome in. You're driving? Where are you driving to, Selena? Wait, did I read that right? You're driving? Why are you driving? Oh, awesome. I was hoping somebody was with you. Hey, Julie. Welcome in. Good to see you, Julie. So good to see you. Tell Jim I said hello. I said hello. But love is deep and complex, as we all know. Whether with your parents, your kids, other family members, your spouse, people that you just love, etc. When love stays on the surface, it's like a fish out of water, if you will, just struggling to survive. How many of y'all have seen fish just laying out like on a sandbar area or whatever, especially, in the rivers and stuff like that? Right, Kathy? Yes. Oh, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind you talking at all, Selena. All the time. I can't get enough of it. Oh, that makes sense. She said Donna says she's in the back seat, but she was talking about the classroom, Selena. She wasn't talking about the back seat of the car. Right? Oh my goodness. But again, if love stays on the surface, it's just like that fish is laying outside of the water. People that take broken fish bowls and stuff. What does the fish do? Is it sits there and flip flops and everything, and is struggling to breathe. Fish need to be submerged because they can't breathe air. They extract oxygen from the water through their gills. Without diving below the surface, they'll be deprived of the life-giving oxygen that they need. And in many ways, love works that same way. With my Robert, I've learned so much about love. For love to thrive, it requires depth. And honesty helps it flourish, and trust is essential for its survival. Without depth, it stumbles. With my stepdad lacking honesty until it was too late, it wilted. And when trust is shattered, love can become stuck for a moment or even for a long time. There have been times I've questioned those that truly love me and want nothing but the best for me. Crazy, I think Selena and I were kind of having a similar conversation earlier today, but I know that they truly love me and they want nothing but the best for me. Some of those were the times when I had heard all the right words and everything, yet they felt oddly devoid of real emotion. Loving words should touch your heart like a handful of soft feathers, making you feel the warmth of genuine love. But when they hit with a heavy thud instead, you can't help but question, is this real? Do you really mean what you're saying? Or are you really telling me what you really think, what you really feel? Or are you just performing? Are you just acting? The thing is, When I was truly exposed to what was going on with my stepdad in 2012 and 2013, as time passed, I couldn't help but question my own sanity during that time. Granted, he's a narcissist, so that would explain a lot. But anyway, the things I thought should fill me with love and safety inside, I just felt this unsettling fear, like standing too close to a sheer cliff. Why do I feel this way? It makes me still question at times and even have fear at times that marriages really don't last. I mean, why should they? Why should they last? You know, my biological dad, my real dad, he had a 2-year affair on my mom after 15 years of marriage. And my stepdad, he eventually cheated on my mom too after probably about 28 years of marriage, give or take. I divorced my first husband because I didn't trust him to take care of me and my girls and everything. All the other things. So why should I trust anything? I wanted, I even go back and think, I wanted a dad. I shared with y'all last week that I wanted a dad so bad in my life, and I had two for the most part, my real dad and my stepdad. And so I know and I feel truly blessed during that time. So I wouldn't believe any consideration that something was off with my stepdad back then. And I used to think that mine and my stepdad's problems were solely my problem. I struggled to tackle what I couldn't comprehend. For me, perfection seemed to be the only solution. I never realized that sometimes the quietest people, and I'm talking about myself here, because I was always just stuffing everything down, and I'm still guilty of that most times. But the ones that are quiet and they don't really express any emotion one way or the other, they're the ones that are hurting the most. There are times I'm quiet and I'm not going to share what I'm going through. I don't feel like it's even worth my time. I don't feel like I'm going to be heard or whatever that may be. Those that know me well know when that moment is. They're like, okay, talk to me. Come on, go ahead and get it out. Let me know what's going on. Anything you say, I will not, will not make me not love you anymore, But there are cries, the ones that stay quiet for far too long, those cries, they go unheard, or they silently act out in their pain. You know when you back me up in a corner, because then I'm not so quiet, But for the most part, I would say 95% of the time I'm quiet, But my own struggles were always very evident in my own mind, even though not to others, because I kept it to myself. So it felt simpler to blame myself than to question the things that confused me. Have you ever had your smoke detector start chirping? That beep, 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 whatever sound it makes. Robert's so good about changing ours. I think he changes ours in January and halfway through the year or something like that. Even if they don't need changing. He's always done that. 25 years of marriage. Did I say a mouthful? Oh, that's funny. Yeah, just don't jump the track, Selena. But those smoke detectors, right, Lisa D, when the battery is low, or something's going on with it, it lets off that annoying chirping noise. That loud chirping that's saying, hey, you, remember that my batteries, they need changing? Can you change the batteries? I'm here telling you that my batteries need to be changed. But instead of figuring out how to replace those batteries, maybe you just took it down to silence that annoying noise, right? You're like, well, I'll shut that up, right? Anyone ever done that? You taking your smoke detector off, even though you shouldn't, because that would be the day, probably, right? It's so, right? Yes, it's so annoying. Yes, that beeping. And of course, it never happens until you're in bed, it seems. Or you're trying to watch a good movie. Like, it never happens until it's super quiet, it seems like. That's probably me now, cool. That's probably definitely me. All I gotta do is roll over to my left side, then I can't hear anything. But like the smoke detector, I honestly thought it would be easier to ignore the problems. But little did I know I was shutting myself off from critical warnings that could have prevented a devastating fire. In a way, I let myself down before my stepdad did. You know, I'm one of those people that will say, never mind, don't worry about it. I'm happy. I'm okay. You know, we've covered that one about not being okay. And I'll say, you know, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Forget I said anything. It's okay. With Robert, however, that sometimes does not fly. Robert and I always want more for each other and ourselves. And with Robert, I can actually share my vulnerabilities with him. I don't have to feel that I have to be perfect for him. And it took me a while to learn that. It took me a while to even learn that I could depend on him solely, you know. As I shared with y'all before, it was always on, you know, my stepdad can take care of that. He'll take care of that. Robert says no, my stepdad will do it, you know, whatever. Whatever, Kraken. Welcome in, buddy. Yes, right, cool. We have one here that is right outside my office, and it's however tall our ceiling is in here is higher than all the other rooms, but Robert has no problem getting it. Yes, they do. Hey, Wendy. Wendy, I got your email. I've not forgotten you. I just haven't had a second this weekend to reply. But I will be replying here soon. But to truly face the realities of our lives and forge meaningful connections, we need to be vulnerable. As we become more self-aware, we often find that vulnerability grows even deeper. Marissa said, when we put my mask on, it makes it worse because we are not being true to ourselves. Yes, when we put a mask on. I know that's part of what you're saying, right? It's tough to keep up pretenses with others when we've stopped pretending to ourselves. And if that's the only connection or insight we gain from this experience on this series, then every bit of effort has been worthwhile in this series. Those who put a mask on, a facade, if you will, often fail to recognize that their deep need for forgiveness. They fail to recognize it. For them, extending forgiveness can feel like just another obligation instead of a liberating experience. In my story, I realized that I shared with y'all last week that not only did I crave grace, healing, and forgiveness, my stepdad deserved that as well. Learning to embrace vulnerability has been incredibly painful, yet it has also been the most nourishing part of my healing, the whole healing journey of itself. Isn't it fascinating how the things that we fear the most can actually lead us to real freedom? Yeah, 17. How many thumbs up do we have? Thanks, Tammy. Let's see. So as I shared with y'all last week, I told you I felt like I had to protect his image because, he was a financial advisor. He was very well liked. He was involved in boards, different boards, at the school that my girls were going to, Arkansas Lung Association. That was, before that was American Lung Association. We got our own chapter here. He led that and everything. So he was a well-respected man, is what I'm trying to get to. But after I got over that I needed to protect his image and everything, I laid everything bare for anybody that wanted to see it. I quit protecting him. I started to share more and more of my story. And although the truth was stark and very painful, it pushed me beneath the surface where my love for myself and could breathe again. Vulnerability is often seen as the act of putting yourself at risk of harm by being open and honest. You're going to get hurt if you're too vulnerable, yada, yada, yada. And I find that quite sad, but I can also relate to it. I've been there too, but I've also discovered a different side of vulnerability. It's a beautiful one. Instead of seeing vulnerability as a way to expose ourselves to harm, why not view it as a chance to connect deeply with others, to let them know us and to love each other? What if I could go for it without the fear of rejection, knowing deep down that I'm already accepted, I'm already worthy enough of it? Mary says, sometimes I catch a glimpse of other perspectives, seeing things through their eyes, usually briefly, but it's humbling, right? I love that, Mary. Yes. This, as I told you guys about, not having any fear of rejection, but knowing that I'm already accepted and I'm worthy of being loved and everything. This is where I realized something important. It's where I realized where I connected my dots. Jim, my stepdad, he was holding on to secrets because he didn't feel like he was accepted. We both longed to feel acceptable and accepted, but our efforts to find that connection only pushed us further apart. The key to being genuinely vulnerable doesn't begin with feeling safe around Jim. Sure, safety matters, but the real starting point is being at ease with myself. I found that only when I could view myself honestly and positively could I truly be vulnerable, free from fear. There were no walls of pretense or curtains pulled back only for a performance, and no little lies to hide the parts of that story that I feared revealing to you guys and everybody else that I've shared the stories with. I learned to let go of harsh judgments about each other's weaknesses. I needed to trust that I was truly acceptable. Selena says, sometimes devil sneaks in and says you are a burden to your family and friends. I think everyone that has been abused in one way or another feels that way, right? And maybe it's not abuse. Maybe you're going through PTSD like I did with my stepdad and everything. I don't think I was ever abused, truly. Like my first marriage, definitely emotional abuse there. But with him, I don't think I was ever like truly mentally or physically abused by him. But I definitely suffered PTSD starting in 2012. So you're so sweet, Tammy. Mary says, bingo, feeling safe in my own skin with my own thoughts, being as honest with myself as I can be at the time. Yes. Boundaries are healthy as well. I did see your comment on that too. These feelings I'm talking about, they weren't just something that I discovered within our relationship. They were fundamental truths to embrace, truths that God had already instilled in us as individuals. In those vulnerable moments, I could easily remind myself of what I already knew to be true. So let's do a chat participation time here. We're going to do a couple of them. So would you say that your most honest opinions of yourself are honoring or dishonoring? Your most honest opinions when you look at yourself and everything, are they honoring or dishonoring? Right? Yes, I love that, Kraken. Yes. Making new friends is necessary. It's the only way you can weed out the toxic ones. Yes. And know that those people were toxic. Yes. Kathy said dishonoring. Most honest opinions of yourself, are they honoring or dishonoring? Right. You got it, cool. Honoring to yourself or dishonoring? Selena said, I open up and I love people so much I get scared. I'm setting myself up for grief, right? Yes. It's scary because it's like, well, that happened. Why should it not happen in this relationship? Friendship or love relationships or anything like that, right? Nancy says both. Josie says honoring. Hold on, cool. I see you, girl. Let's see. Mary said they're mixed. I'm a project in action. Selena says dishonoring. Kraken says I'm harder on myself than anyone else. Yes. That's it right there. Yes. Cool says, okay, probably dishonoring to myself, but always honoring others. Yes. Wendy says a little bit of both. Whoops. Lisa D says both as I age, getting more honoring. Yes. Joanne says both, but mostly honoring. Yep, the things that you say to yourself, do they honor you? Or are they dishonoring? Like, are you harder on yourself? When you look in a mirror, you're like, yeah, he says you're pretty, but you're not really pretty. Those kind of things, where beating yourself up, so to speak. Lisa D says working on that one, right? Josie says she's worked on it many years. Yes. Tammy says she's hard on herself. Yes. 100%, Wendy. Yes. Our own worst critics. Yes. All right. The second question for you guys. Over the course of your life, when have you looked at other people to carry the burden of making you feel accepted? Or have you? Have you ever looked at other people to carry the burden of making you feel accepted? Who have you wanted to make you feel better about who you are, fix who you are, complete who you are? Some people get married because they think, oh, that's gonna he loves me and or you marry them and you think, oh, I can fix them. I know that's my first marriage. I thought, oh, well, his parents have totally abandoned him. He went to Job Corps. Anybody knows what Job Corps is? I will love him. I will take care of him. I will make him feel like he's smart. I will make him feel like he's a great man and all this kind of stuff. And 5.5 years later, I realized it just never was going to happen, Cool says my mother for sure, right? Selena says, I hate looking at myself, my teeth, because of the cancer. I'm so ugly, I really don't look much. You're beautiful, whatever. Like that picture right there in your avatar. Gorgeous. Some of the other pictures I have of you. So you're pretty, and I'll keep telling you that. Wendy said, that's one of my biggest fears in life is being a burden to somebody else, but I'm slowly learning it's okay to lean on people that are just willing to help, right? Yes. Mary said, no knights and white horses are coming to save this old broad. Kathy says, my dad, he died in 2011, but I think I'm still trying to get his approval. Oh, that's a deep one, Kathy. Yes. Right. Or, as I stated, who did you want to make you feel better about yourself? Did you get married just so you could be told that you're pretty or that you're loved or you're accepted or whatever, or someone that can help you fix yourself? You became codependent. There's the word I'm looking for, codependent and everything. Oh, well, if I do this, if I marry him, or if I just have kids or whatever, it'll complete me, I know you do, but you're pretty. You're beautiful. Nancy says she's slowly accepting help. Yep. I've always grew up thinking I never needed a man. I didn't need to depend on a man until I got Robert. He takes care of so much that I never even thought that I needed taken care of, you know. Lisa D said my exes thought I could fix them, huh? Right? Yes, if you could just win that daggone lottery, Tammy, then we could retire and just do whatever. All right. Joanne says, I have a hard time asking for help from other people. I don't want to be a burden, but I have to remember all the times I helped others when I could. Yes. Yes. Yep. Right, cool. Yes. I depend on a lot. My daughter Julia, she's 19, helps a lot of things I can't do. I'm so glad you got her. Build more flea markets, yes. You're so cute, Selena. She's gonna come with her go-kart, Mary. Now I can express my true feelings without someone rushing to fix things or taking my raw emotions personally as a threat. There are also times I just need to get it out as well without Robert feeling like he needs to fix something for me. You know, there are many times he'll say, do you need me to fix it or do you just need me to listen? I just need you to listen. I just need to get it out of my system. You know, I don't really need you to do anything. I just need to get it out, right? That's awesome, Mary. Oh, Julie said Jim is her rock. Yes, he is. I love that. Very true. That's the codependency. That, yes. Cool says, I think my second husband married me for the same reason, as after 4 years of marriage, I swear he was, he's got you no lies. There are some very, what do they call them? Metrosexual? Is that what they call them? When Robert and I first got married, we went to Geyer Springs First Baptist, and we had a Sunday school teacher that if you didn't see him with his wife, he was a doctor. If you didn't see him with his wife, you would swear he was. Selena said, Robert's so special. He made a little boy that goes through so much. He's made his day, and you love it on him. I love y'all. Yeah. Well, now we got the passion of wrestling and Ryland, so. Kathy said, I've had to attempt to lean on a few others because of health issues, and it's not been easy. Always have to just lean on myself, right? Yes. Yes, Joanne. Have to vent first and then deal with it, right? There's days I just need to just gripe about it, have my pity party, whatever you want to call it, and then I can move on. But at that moment, I need to just, whatever it may be, feel sorry for myself, be pissed off at whoever it is or whatever. Oh, Kraken. Thank you. So real quick, guys, and you're getting an extra entry into the drawing as well for January. Thank you, Kraken. Appreciate you, buddy. And sorry I got you starred, so I don't have to worry about that. So thank you. Isn't that what they call it, though? It's not bisexual. It's metrosexual, something like that. That's what I thought it was. It don't matter. Right? Third time's a charm. My mom was my stepdad's fourth wife. Yeah, fourth wife. So sometimes four is a charm. Sorry, Robert's blowing his nose. Oh, that's awesome. All right. the truth is that we can help each other remember our true selves. However, we can't fix or control one another, nor can we keep each other perfectly healthy either. What we can do is encourage one another, be open and honest, pray together, and stand strong against those challenges. We can share our worries with God and we can support each other through tough times, but we must never allow shame to creep into your relationship with whoever it may be. It's all about returning to the genuine connections that God intended for us. And I'm really talking about Robert, not there. We have, like I said, being there for each other and so forth as far as that goes, and not letting shame creep in for something that we, might have done or whatever. But the Bible verse in Genesis 2:25 says, Adam and his wife were both naked and they felt no shame. They were completely vulnerable, but not in a way that made them feel exposed. Instead, they were open to love. They didn't feel ashamed of themselves or of each other, nor did they behave shamefully. Maybe you 2 hearts for Robert. Oh. But maybe that is because they had no other opinions to influence them except for the pure love of God. And I truly believe that. I've realized there's a lot more to explore here as well. They recognize that their creation by God, uniquely and wonderfully made, despite the humble materials that comprise them. Dust and shattered bone may not seem like the best starting point. After all, dust often symbolizes what is left behind or what's neglected. I'll get it to you, Kraken. Good night, Tammy. And an exposed rib bone is just one of the 24 similar bones that's hidden beneath the flesh and only visible when life fades away and takes over. On their own, these ingredients, they don't add up to much. They're just not enough, right? Chosen by God and touched by his breath, humanity stands out as the only creation made in his image. From humble beginnings, they become a stunning reflection of God himself. As stated in Genesis 1:27, so God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God, he created them. Male and female, he created them. These beings made the invisible God visible through their very existence. Their glory didn't come from their creation as mere dust and bone, but rather from the hands of God himself. They embraced their identity rooted in their understanding of who God was. Before the fall, there's no hint that they were unhappy with their design. They were fully naked and they felt no shame at all. Good night, Kraken. So chat participation time. What are your initial thoughts on the fact that the status, make sure I'm not missing, what are your initial thoughts on the fact that the status of being created in the image of God is a gift given and not one that we have to attain? Your initial thoughts on that we are created in the image of God, that it's gift given to us. It's not one that we have to strive for, that we have to attain, that we have to earn. And we're almost done, and we'll do the drawings here at the very end. Your initial thought on the fact that it's gift given to you. Cool says it is gift given from God. Yes. You don't have to do anything to get it, right? I'll let y'all keep thinking about that, and we'll keep going. Realizing that has helped me connect with how much we all, myself and you on the other side of the screen, truly need to hear and share these uplifting words that remind us we're more than just dust, right? Yes, and sometimes the devil creeps in to give you doubt, just like he did Eve, right? Yes. Nancy said that God loves me that much to be made in his image. I love that, Nancy. Lisa D says, thankful for his sacrifice. Right, Mary? It's all good until the negative thoughts start creeping in. Yes. Selena says, gift giving, and I'm grateful for it. Yes. Kathy said, it's hitting me different the way you just said it, so I don't know how to answer that right now. Anxiety level just went up, though. Don't know why. You're fine, Kathy. You're fine. Marissa said, to know that I have this awesome gift is what keeps me going, knowing I can be myself because he already knows me from every hair in my head, right? Yes. Yes, I love that. Perfect. Perfect. So you and I were defined by so much more than our past actions and mistakes. We embody the breath of God and we are fully accepted. When we see each other through that lens, our true selves can shine. This perspective doesn't ignore the challenges that we face. Rather, it shifts our focus from shame to the hope that we find in Christ. Joanne says, like somebody giving you a present of something unexpected that you didn't expect, and there was nothing you had to do to earn it, right? You're giving me chills tonight. I love that. My stepdad's actions are a part of reality, but they don't define who he is. He is a beloved child of God, and I can choose to forgive him. I've taken some time to reflect on what I've just shared with you and myself, and it's really warmed my heart. Discovering that these connection has been such an eye-opener for me. Yes. Also have to ask for forgiveness. Along the way, I've realized that there's still some grief tied to these insights before, and even a little now as I share these things with you. It seems like the word grief kept coming up for me. Even though I was able to forgive, I was still carrying the weight of my hurt. I was mourning the things that hadn't been fixed yet and the choices that I didn't agree with. Grieving can be a long journey that often goes hand in hand with forgiveness. We'll dive into how loss plays in this in future discussions, but I want to share another connection I've made. Even as a young child, I felt the painful impact of loss and understood how hurtful it can be when others' actions affect our emotions. This experience made me weary of being taken advantage of, though I didn't realize it at the time. I struggled to gain a clearer perspective on these feelings. However, while reading Genesis, I had a new insight that opened my eyes. Before creating the woman, God declared that it wasn't good for man to be alone. We all have heard that. I always thought this meant that Adam was lacking something. However, upon re-examining it, I realized that Adam wasn't incomplete. When God put him into a deep sleep, he didn't change or add anything to Adam. Instead, he took something away. That sacrifice cost Adam a bone, but in return, God gave him something far greater. It's a reminder that any sacrifice offered to God can lead to something wonderful. Perhaps this is the first lesson about the complexity of vulnerability. Being open means risking hurt. When we share ourselves, we can feel exposed to the possibility of loss. Unlike Adam and Eve, we felt this pain firsthand, so it makes sense that we shy away from it. As a result, we can become bitter, more easily offended, and less willing to let our guard down. Yes, for you, yes. But I totally get that. I understand that. I can describe this well since I often can think this way. I really feel a deep sense of loss whenever something is taken from me. It's hard to accept what I've lost. I still cry for my stepdad and the things that he did. I miss my mom and my dad and the ache of their absence. It lingers. I also think about my friends who are no longer in my life, and I miss them too. And I fear losing my husband way too soon as well. There are certainly other losses that are easier to handle. For example, money being gone, harsh words being spoken, or things taken away, but none compared to the heartbreak of losing those that I truly care about. It's a different kind of ache, yet it makes me hesitant to open myself up to the possibility of that hurt happening again. What if instead of fearing what we might lose, we embrace the idea that every loss actually makes us whole? What? Sure, in our world, loss brings sorrow, and that's completely natural. But there's so much more to the story than just grief. Hey, Susan Arrington, welcome in. There you are. Oh, hit the wrong thing. Welcome in, Susan. Good to see you. As we navigate our grief, we also begin to see things from a broader, more eternal perspective. Grieving can feel overwhelming and never ending, leaving us questioning if we'll make it through, right? But we do find a way to carry on. While we may never fully agree in this life on whether the gifts from a good God outweighs our losses, we choose to hold on to hope, but placing our trust in Him. When we entrust our losses to God, they don't have to feel permanent. Wendy said, I think with loss and forgiveness and just everything, the key common word is grace, something that I think we all need more of within ourselves. Yes. I love that, Wendy. Right. Yes. Yeah, we're still trudging alone, aren't we, Selena? Martin Luther once wisely said, I've held many things in my hands and lost them all. I love this. I've held many things in my hands and lost them all. But whatever I've entrusted to God, that I still have. God crafted a woman from Adam's rib, returning to him the precious gift of companionship. Not every loss that we experience is a result by the hand of God. However, when I entrust each loss to God, I find hope for redemption. As it says in John 12:24, I assure you, unless a grain of wheat falls to the ground and dies, it stays alone. But if it dies, it produces a bountiful harvest. Loss doesn't mark the conclusion of our journey. Every story has its layers connecting the dots. We all carry past hurts and losses that can lead to negative beliefs and unhealthy habits, holding us back today. For someone who has spent years avoiding sunrises and sunsets due to feelings of fear, there's a chance to transform that experience into joyful moments with family. Right, Selena? I'm getting them. Yep. Yes, loss is a part of our journey, but it doesn't always have to be harmful. If we allow it, loss can also shape us in beautiful ways. When we become more aware of how we think and see the world and start to channel that awareness into positive actions, every loss can lead to the growth of a wiser, more compassionate, and understanding version of ourselves. Reflecting on my past, I can see how my childhood shaped my beliefs about life, myself, and other people, God, and forgiveness. These beliefs were often solidified during times of hurt, creating a framework that still influences my thoughts and experiences today. I believe it's time to take another look at my belief system. I don't want to keep facing tough situations through the lens of my past hurts and my past traumas. This journey takes time and there's no need to rush it, but we shouldn't shy away from starting the healing process. It all begins with making connections. Right, Mary? Yes. Loss can be shedding of dead weight. Kathy says several losses the last few months, and I felt more freedom with each one. Yes. Marissa said the author is still writing our story, and our stories can be someone's survival guide. I love that, Marissa. I'm so glad you're here, girl. I hope you keep coming back. Yes, like shedding an old dead skin to enable new growth. Yes, love it. So the journey does take time, but we shouldn't shy away from the healing process. As you explore the connections in your story, here are a few things to keep in mind. Oh, hold on, we got a prayer request. Would everyone please pray for this grandma on his dad's... would everyone please pray for his grandma on his dad's side? She is her last day. She is getting ready to pass over. Your son, thank you, Sherry, thank you. Her son, Josh, pray for his grandma on his dad's side. Yes. Right, Selena, yes. So, again, here are a few things to keep in mind as you're looking at these connections. Are there certain times of the day or seasons that you find joy in but tend to want to avoid or steer clear of? For me, October has always held a special place in my heart. Halloween is right before my birthday on November 1st, and so it's always been like an extra party for me, and fall has been one of my favorite seasons. However, in the years before 2025, I've been dreading October because it reminds me of the trauma moment with my stepdad. Once I recognized this connection, I decided to take back those months. Embracing them feels much more empowering than avoiding them. Are there places that you know you should enjoy, but you just don't feel like going? You're scared to even go, maybe. You avoid going to those places. Do you ever find yourself avoiding certain people or feeling extra nervous around them? Again, these are things, as you explore your connections in your story, they're things to keep in mind. Do you ever find, or do some words or phrases evoke stronger emotions in you than you think they should? For me, it's someone demanding of my time, or for me to jump to answer, and help them right away. Crazy, but that's what my stepdad would expect, and I just totally can't stand it. Right now it just goes all over me, and I have to step back and realize who I'm talking to. I'm not talking to my stepdad, I'm talking to somebody else, or whatever that circumstance may be. I'll sit there and go, I ain't jumping anymore, and I'm like, oh wait, come back to reality, Scooter. Yes, prayers for Hannah and Rowdy for safe delivery in the morning. Yes. Grandbaby number 2. Really, it's number 13, but still. I'm talking about within the weekend. Are there moments in your life that makes you wish that you could duck out of a conversation when they're brought up? Yes, for me, 100%. Marissa said, I lost my dad in 2024. The grief journey has been hard, but I'm grateful that I have a caring and loving God who is always there, and he is helping me move forward. Yes. Yes. I lost, since you're new, Marissa, I lost my dad March 4th, my real dad, March 4th of 2022. And then 19 days later, I lost my mom, same year. Later of 2022, we lost Robert's sister to cancer. And then the following year, in May of 2023, I lost my brother to cancer. So, yes, I tell people that just because it was just my mom, my dad, my brother, and me. And now there's just me. And if the whole thing about loving orphans, and where it talks about orphans in the Bible, I'm like, oh my gosh, Lord, that I feel that. And so I know that God loves me, No, right, Susan? 10 pounds. Cannot imagine. Love it. So while you're thinking about who, what, when, and where, don't forget to explore the why. Notice how your body reacts, like when your heart races, you feel anxious, or you have a frown. These signs of discomfort can be important clues that something isn't quite right. And while we can't alter our past experiences, we do have the power to decide how they shape us moving forward. I promise it's truly worth it. Just look at how God has brought me. I see the miracle in it every day. How far God has brought me. That's what I meant to say. There's still a long way to go, but I'm definitely not where I used to be. I'm feeling vulnerable, and there's no need to put on a mask or hide anything. If I find myself crying in the middle of the night, I know my husband is right there beside me, literally. I've never felt this kind of safety before. It's all about emotion, tears, and complete honesty. There's a freedom to explore what's within us without fearing labels or pushing the other away. I can simply be there for others without the need to fix. I do share my concerns, but I don't feel responsible for saving everyone's problems. I've worked on my own self with my therapist, and I express my frustrations through prayer with God. It's often messy, but that's okay. It allows me the freedom to truly live and love alongside with both. My journey often feels like a blend of moments where I clearly sense God's presence and times when I struggle to see him at all. Those latter moments can really test my understanding of his actions. But perhaps that's where faith comes in. My trust grows when I witness God's work with my own eyes, yet it's my faith that deepens during the times I can't grasp his plans. In those moments, I choose to rely on who he is and acknowledge his goodness, even in the uncertainties. It's been since October 2021 since I've spoken to my stepdad. Well, I did talk to him at my mom's funeral in 2022, but truly speak to him. I have forgiven him, and I have told him even then that I love him. Robert and I will be married for 25 years in September, longer than my first marriage, longer than my mom and dad were married. And while my human flesh questions if we can make it, how long we'll make it, whatever those things may be, my faith is in God. Robert is still here. God's redemption shines through everything. It's a beautiful mystery filled with both pain and wonder at the same time. Wow, 46 years. Congratulations. All right, guys, if you'll bow your heads with me. Hold on just a second. Marissa, thank you to Cool Ranch. My support circle is small and I'm good. I'm good with letting go of those that don't want to be there because I know God removed those for a reason or a lesson. Yes. I always say some people are in our lives for a season. How long is that season? We don't know, right? So, all right, guys, if you'll bow your heads with me. Heavenly Father, I come before you with a humble heart, asking you to sanctify me completely, mind, body, spirit, and soul. Set me apart for your purposes. Remove anything in me that does not align with your will. Help me to desire holiness, not out of duty, but out of love for you. Lord, I trust that you see the full picture of my life when I can only see pieces. I ask you now to connect the dots, past, present, and future, in a way only you can. Give me meaning to the seasons that confuse me, heal what once hurt me, and show me how nothing was wasted in your hands. Illuminate my path with wisdom and discernment. Where I felt scattered, bring clarity. Where I've doubted, strengthen my faith. Help me recognize divine patterns, divine timing, and divine purpose, unfolding step by step. Holy Spirit, guide my thoughts, my decisions, and my steps. Align my will with yours. Teach me to wait when I need to wait, and move when you say move, and trust when I don't yet understand. I surrender every unanswered question, every unfinished chapter, and every unknown to you. I believe you are working all things together for good. Complete the work you began in me, and let my life bring glory to your name. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. Great night, right? Great night. All right. Let's do the drawing for the hashtag and the chat participation questions for the month of December. Remember, these are every time you comment it to my shorts with the hashtag I give you in those. So I try to drop shorts almost daily. And in there, all you got to do is watch it, hear what the hashtag I give you, and then just comment with that hashtag. You get entered into a monthly drawing that we do on the first Monday of each month. And the chat participation time entries are for every Monday that we do Monday Motivation. And you participate, you get a star. If when you answer the questions or the statements I give you to make, you get a star and you get entered to that monthly drawing. So we do that on the first Monday. Thank you, guys. Amen, amen. Yes. All right, so this one, I always like to do Monday Motivation last. All right, let's do the hashtag. Here's all of the entries from the hashtag. So let's see who wins tonight. Can't really shake this up, so I gotta shuffle them. All right, who is the winner for tonight? Wow, Kraken. He's such a lucky duck. So congratulations, Kraken. All right, hashtag on here so I know which gift to give him. Congratulations, Kraken. All right, this is our Monday Motivation chat participations. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate you. Thank you for always being here and sharing of yourself and being vulnerable with us. Speaking of vulnerability, right? I'm so glad you were here. Cool, I missed you. All right, let's see. Monday Motivation drawing. All right, we're going to do another one on that one. Sorry. I gotta have different winners. And it is Tammy. Where were you, Tammy? Hey, Harry. So glad to see you, buddy. So Tammy won tonight. So write her down for Monday motivation. Usually the hashtag drawing is a small, a pretty small gift, I say. It's just something to thank you guys for supporting me. And then the Monday motivation, I usually try to do some sort of journal, book, something of that nature for you guys. So, awesome, Mary. Well, next week, hold on, let me back up. So tomorrow night, I will be on at 7:30 p.m. Central for the live auction of Slightly Unhinged. Sanity sold separately. If you've never been, you'll figure out quickly why we call it that. Wednesday night, I will be on at 7:30 p.m. Central. And then Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central, we'll have another sale as well. All those thumbnails, I should hopefully get uploaded tomorrow. Like, I'm running behind. So hopefully all of the month of January will be loaded tomorrow. If not, I'll at least get the rest of this week loaded and then get the rest later, whatever. But next Monday motivation, episode 152, we are going to be discussing correcting the dots. So we have talked about collecting the dots. Tonight we talked about connecting the dots. And now next week we're going to be discussing on correcting those dots. It's going to be another great topic, still on forgiveness, continuing this series. Make sure you do all the YouTube things, guys, that you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell for all notifications and a thumbs up on your way out if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate that. Make it a great week. If I don't see you somewhere around the YouTube, remember that forgiveness releases our need for retaliation, not our needs for boundaries. Now let's do this thing. Good night, guys.